Well, the point that I want to make, and what comes through very vividly to me, is the amount of research that was done, how labor intensive this was, and how community involving it was. I mean, imagine going to all these churches. There was a lot of churches,
Yes.
and contacting a lot of people, contacting the other organizations. And this actually took place quite rapidly when I think about it. If you think this was the first direct action, nonviolent direct action of the group,
Right.
really. So you were learning as you were going. Let's put it that way. And so for all of that, I think you did amazingly well. But even so, there was an enormous amount of legwork and contacting and involving that took weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And the key thing here of get the facts. That was the most basic thing. Get the facts. Don't assume anything. Go in there, document those facts, do the research. And in contrast to, I think, what happens today, I think there's a lot of romanticizing of those early days and of the civil rights movement. Oh, how brave, oh, how wonderful, oh, the freedom riders, whatever. And it was brave and wonderful. It was an incredible time period. But what went into that to make it happen was such dedication and such intensity of activity and such intelligence.
Yeah, we had a lot of really good brains.
We had a lot of really good people who came from many walks of life, who all added what they had to add. And so it wasn't any overnight kind of thing. And I've seen things recently in recent times where people are trying to do things in terms of demonstrating, and they expect to do this overnight. Well, here we are.
Yeah, we didn't want to be dismissed. That was the problem. And CORE's basic tenet is you investigate, you negotiate, and then you demonstrate. And if you're going to be a CORE chapter, you must follow that. And we did it to the letter of the law, and we didn't want anybody in the big community saying to us that's not true. You know, they have people working over in Ballard. I've seen people there. And the other thing was that most of their employees were like menial jobs. There were very few, like meat cutters, truck drivers, and so we were intent on knowing exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, we felt like we knew more about Safeway stores than they did because they threatened to fire one of the people they had just hired. And so our negotiators went back there and said, what's going on? And they said, that person is taking money. And we said, you know, we don't believe that. And so we posted people there. The stores weren't open 24 hours a day, but we posted people there for 4 days, taking shifts, watching that cash register where the person who was accused of taking the money worked. And we realized, you know how they take the tray out now when a cashier leaves the cash register? No, the next person just walked up and started checking people out. It turns out it was the manager of the store who was taking the money, and we found out about it. And because of that, Safeway changed the way they checked in and checked out their cashiers. So, but again, it took 4 days, 4 shifts a day of people wandering around the grocery store trying to look like a customer, keeping an eye on that cash register to see, you know, who might be taking the money.